Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Full Count, Sports Memo's MLB betting coverage show. We come to you live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. My friends, we're going to be covering baseball with some of the best handicappers, analysts, columnists, and sports bettors on the planet. We're going to be giving out free picks on several games for today's card and plenty of time for you to get down on those free picks. I am your host, world champion handicapper and Vegas's biggest daily sports bettor, Joe D'Amico, and we've got an all-star cast today. Joining me is the Iceman himself, Mr. Jesse Schule, and Jeff Michaels. You know him as JM Sports. Good afternoon, Jesse. Good afternoon, Jeff. How are you both today?
Doing great, Joe.
Well, I'm excited. We are midway through the week. We are that much closer to college football. But right now, we're going to talk about a little baseball. But before we give out free winners for today's card, I have a few announcements. My friends, we need your help. We need your help. We need your help. We need you to hit that subscribe button. We want 10,000 subscribers on YouTube during football. I'm going to tell you right now, I have a little announcement in a minute about our fall schedule. We're very excited about. We're going to revolutionize the sports betting industry with our video content, but we want to hit 10,000 subscribers. And you know what? When you hit that subscribe button, you'll get a little alert every time one of our shows come on, and you're not going to want to miss a thing. We need your help. Can't do it without you. Hit the subscribe button, please. On top of that, guys, we have a couple of discounts I want to tell you about. First, I am celebrating 22 years with my wife, and you know her as the First Lady of Las Vegas, Dion D'Amico, who is a fixture on the WNBA, the MLB, and right now, number one, I want to kill her about it, on the NFL preseason leaderboards, and she finished last year in college football, number 2. Guys, we're celebrating 22 years this week. We want you to celebrate with us. We have a 3-day all-access for the First Lady of Las Vegas, Dion D'Amico, or her sexy husband, Joe D'Amico. Just $22. Use code ANNV22 upon checkout. We have another great discount, guys. The customer appreciation discount you get over at SportsMemo, unrivaled. The second discount, let's go with this one. Any capper on the site, you buy September, you get the rest of August free, just $2.99. There's no code necessary here. So once again, guys, you buy September, you get the rest of this month free. That comes to less than $60 a week. You want to do the math on that? You don't need an abacus. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is something that will save you money while you make your money. See, we at SportsMemo know that saving your money is just as important as making money. And we want you to maximize your profits and minimize your expenditures. Use this discount, but we're not done yet with discounts. We got another huge discount. This one is just, this is the granddaddy of them all. 90 days all access, any capper on the SportsMemo website, just $539. This is normally a $749 value. This is amazing. 90 days. Follow your favorite capper or cappers. For this price, you could get a couple of cappers for 90 days, just $539. You use code CAPPER90 upon checkout. It doesn't get bigger or better than the customer appreciation you receive from SportsMemo. And I've got 2 special announcements. Hold on to your hats and hold on to your jackstrap, sports fans, but not at the same time that could cause an injury. Guys, we at SportsMemo have 2 new shows starting. First, this Friday, we're going to make history as the 4 members of a family are going to be on the same panel for the first time in the history of the sports betting business. All right. Ralph and Jeff Michaels are going to join Dion and Joe D'Amico, where the first family show on Fridays is going to turn into the Family Affair show. We're going to come at you just as early. Tons of free content, tons of insight, a few laughs as well. Tune in every Friday to the Family Affair show. Guys, but tune in this Friday for our inaugural show. We're going to make history. And starting a week from tomorrow, I'm excited about this. We will begin our college football and pro football forecast shows every Thursday. I'm going to host. I have a rotating group of football leaderboard fixtures from SportsMemo. So find a place to hide all that winning cash, folks, because you're going to get a ton of free winners. And we still might have a few laughs as well. So tune into that. That's going to start next Thursday. So without any further ado, we're going to get right into the first of 3 roundtable games we are covering today. And guys, we got 3 doozies for you today. My friend, 2 teams scratching and clawing to earn a wild card spot right now, and that's our first game. We're talking about the White Sox at the Orioles. Currently, Chicago minus $120 total. 8.5 under 115. Let's go to the Iceman himself, guys. You know Jesse Schule as one of the best cappers in the history of this business. He turns it up in the summertime. He's one of the best in college and pro football. He's on multiple sport leaderboards at SportsMemo. Jesse, the floor is yours. White Sox, Orioles, Chicago 120, 8.5 under minus 115. Take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Unfortunately, I was unable to make the meet and greet this weekend, but thanks to guys like you and Rob Vino, I got to see all the pictures on Twitter And I saw one picture of one of our colleagues had a little bit too much to drink, and he appeared to be passed out in one of the casinos. I'm not going to mention his name, but when I saw the photo, I thought to myself, that guy looks like he's been betting against the Orioles, and I think he was. The Orioles are just 6-6 in their last 12 overall, but they're 9-3 against the spread in those games. The White Sox have lost 5 of their last 6 overall. The pitching matchup looks pretty solid for Baltimore today, with Spencer Watkins 4-3, 4.04 ERA. What strikes me as interesting about him is he's faced Chicago once this season already, went 5 innings and got the win, and didn't, or he allowed 1 run, but it was an unearned run. And Lucas Giolito going for the Sox, 9-7, 5.34 ERA. I've always liked Giolito, but he's not having a great season. 3-1 with a 6.12 ERA in his last 5 starts. That's a pretty high ERA of 6.12. Orioles 4-1 in the last 5 head-to-head. I'm looking at Baltimore plus the runs as the home dog.
Sports fans, Jesse the Body Schule, who's the fisher on the SportsMemo leaderboard, says he likes the Orioles here. You know, Jesse and I and some of the other cappers here on both the Full Couch and the First Family shows, I've been talking about the Orioles for several months, even before they went on a couple of their really amazing runs. They're still a force to be reckoned with. Jesse says they're going to win today. Jesse, great breakdown as usual. Thank you. Let's go to Jeff Michaels. I got a double dose of Jeff today. He was on the First Family show this morning, so I got to wake up with Jeff. Well, I don't think I've ever said that sentence before in my life. I got to wake up with Jeff. But, guys, you know, working with Jeff regularly is a real treat for me as a host because he always brings it. He is also a fixture on the SportsMemo leaderboards. Jeff, I want your take on this contest. White Sox and Orioles. Chicago 120, 8.5 under, 115. Take it away, kiddo.
Thanks, Joe. I was going to say, I think this is the first time we've been back together on Full Count since I stole that sexy and savory line. So I don't know if that was your call or somebody else behind the scenes, but I'm glad to be back on here with you. But, you know, this AL Central matchup, Jesse said it, Giolito hasn't been what he's been in the history, you know, in his career. Chicago's just 1-5 in their last 6 games. And Baltimore's racked up 3 more wins in their last 4 contests. But I think the biggest difference between those two teams recently is the fact that the White Sox have allowed 5 or more runs in 4 of their last 5 games. And Watkins has pitched better against solid competition. And, you know, obviously, again, what we said about Giolito. But the Orioles, as we've said before many times, they've been one of the most profitable teams this year. And they're 8-1 against AL teams, putting up 4.4 or less runs in the second half of the season. And they're 36-23 at home this year. Yeah, the Baltimore Orioles are 6 games over 500. I can't even tell you the last time that we saw that. And their bullpen's posting a 2.56 ERA at home this season. And they got the 4-1 edge over the White Sox on the year. So, you know, I really like that Baltimore run line bet. I may even sprinkle something on the money line too.
Jeff Michaels, who's doing some wonderful work over at SportsMemo, says Orioles run line for sure and might even sprinkle some money on the Orioles money line. Great breakdown as usual, Jeff. It's what we come to expect from you. Guys, after the show, use one of these or more than one of these customer appreciation discounts. Go follow Jeff Michaels. You'll follow him all the way to the bank. Guys, 1 round down, 2 rounds to go. We got 2 more roundtable games. We got a best bet segment. Don't go anywhere. Our second roundtable game, guys. Every single division matchup in the AL East is significant here, folks. Short and sweet, just like your host. I'm keeping that intro really succinct. This matchup, Blue Jays at Red Sox, Toronto, $1.50, 9.5 under, 115. Let's go to the Iceman himself, making a Wednesday appearance on the Full Count Show. Jesse Schule, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. Well, the Blue Jays are fighting for their playoff lives, but they come off a 9-3 win in Game 1 against Boston. The over is now 5-1 in their last 6 overall. And the Jays are hitting the ball well this season, despite the fact that they may not have been playing as well as I'd hoped they would. They rank 6th in the majors in scoring, 2nd in team batting average, and 4th in on-base percentage. Not looking like this game's going to be a pitcher's duel with Berrios going for the Jays. He's 9-5 with a 5.39 ERA overall. His numbers on the road, as always with Berrios, he's much better at home than he is on the road. He's 3-4 with a 6.82 ERA and 12 road starts. And then the guy that they got going for Boston, Brian Bello, 0-3 with an 8.47 ERA. He's coming off of a groin injury, so who knows how long he's going to last. And then you got the Boston bullpen, which has struggled lately. I really just expect to see some runs scored in this game. I'm going to take the over.
Jesse the Body Schule says he likes the over in the Blue Jays Red Sox. Lots of runs scored. So much so, they might have to change the bulbs in the scoreboard, he says. Great breakdown, Jesse. Always as entertaining as you are informative. You guys, go follow Jesse after the show. We got some great customer appreciation discounts. He is a winner. Let's go over to Jeff Michaels. This is an interesting matchup. Blue Jays at Red Sox, currently Toronto 150, 9.5 under 15. Jeff, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I like what Jesse said. I think one of the things that caught my eye was one of those 3 starts from Brian Bello on the Red Sox side was against Toronto, and it didn't fare well. 5 earned runs on 9 hits in just 4 innings pitched. But yesterday was a struggle for Boston, to say the least. Not only did they give up 9 runs and lose by 6, but in the process today, their injury report got even longer. Tommy Pham and Xander Bogaerts have been listed out for today with neck injuries after leaving yesterday, and they put Hosmer on the 10-day IL yesterday too. So a team that's already been struggling with injuries and now seemingly is struggling even more. And Boston has lost 4 of their last 5 games, and they're just 17-30 since the start of the second half of the year. They are putting up 4 runs per game, but they're still losing by over 2 runs on average. And their biggest struggle is one of the most important things on the season, and that's playing against the division. Play your division more than anybody on the year, obviously, and they're just 16-33 against the AL East. Berrios, obviously, as Jesse said, takes the mound for Toronto today too. And while his ERA, isn't the most impressive, it did stand out to me that the Toronto is still 17-7 in his 24 starts, even with that 5.39 ERA. Blue Jays have won 5 out of the last 6, and they're putting up nearly 6 runs a game. And they've definitely had Boston's number this year. They're 11-3 against Boston, and they've taken 6 out of 7 games in Fenway. You look at the last 4 games that they played in Fenway against Boston, they're putting up 12.25 runs per game. And yes, that does include that 28-run effort that they had. But even you take that one out in the other 3 games, they're still averaging 7 runs a game with a 9-run effort and an 8-run effort in their last 2 outings. They've won 4 straight, 7 of the last 8, 11 of the last 13. And I think Toronto takes another one tonight. But I do like that over from Justin too.
There you go, sports fans. Jeff Michaels says Toronto tonight, and he does agree with Jesse on the total going over. Great minds think alike, guys. Jeff's doing great work over at SportsMemo. You follow him, you'll be following him to the bank. Guys, don't go anywhere. Only 2 roundtable games down. 1 more coming up, and then our best bet segment. The 3rd roundtable game today, guys. Just because the game consists of 2 teams struggling doesn't mean it can't be a moneymaker. We talk a lot on this show. Jesse's touched on it. Jeff has touched on it. Myself. We talk a lot about marquee teams, marquee matchups, TV games. It doesn't have to be a TV game. It doesn't have to be a marquee matchup. It doesn't have to be a matchup between 2 teams vying for a wild card spot for you to make money. There are gold in them, Dar Hills. Don't dismiss them. As long as a line gives you value, then it's something to keep an eye on. Let's go to Jesse Schule. This is an interesting matchup, Jesse. Diamondbacks at Royals, currently Arizona -130. Total, low total. They're begging you. They're begging you here, buddy. 7.5 under -115. Jesse, the floor is yours.
Well, Joe, you said it's not necessarily a marquee matchup with the teams, but it could be a marquee matchup with the pitchers. This game has pitchers duel written all over it, in my opinion. It'll be interesting to hear what Jeff says because we've been in full agreement so far. Anyways, we've got Zach Gallen going for Arizona, 9-2 with a 2.78 ERA, but he's been even better lately, 4-0 with a 1.13 ERA in his last 5 starts. And then Brady Singer, kind of sneaky. You don't really think of him as a marquee pitcher, but 6-4, 3.27 ERA, which is pretty solid considering the team he pitches for. But his last 3 starts, he's been incredible. He's allowed 3 runs on 11 hits, striking out 20 in 19 innings. The under is 5-0 in Singer's last 5 starts. The under is 9-4 in the White Sox last 13 road games. and the under is 4-1 in the last 5 head-to-head meetings between the two teams. I'm looking at under for first 5 innings here, especially if you could pay a little bit extra and get the 4 runs for the first 5. I think that's the way to play this game.
Sports fans, Jesse Schule, another great breakdown as usual. Jesse, thank you. Under first 5. Great stuff, Jesse. Thank you very much. Let's go over to Jeff Michaels. You know him as JM Sports. He's doing great work as well over at SportsMemo. Jeff, Diamondbacks at Royals, Arizona, 137.5, under 15. Let's see if you guys agree on all 3 roundtable games.
Yeah, I was going to say, great minds think alike. We don't talk a whole lot about these roundtable games before we get out there, but we did hear that we had some common opinions on a couple of them. But, Brady Singer going out there at home, he's 5-2 with a 2.92 ERA, and the team is 7-3 in his 10 home starts. They only have 30 home wins on the season. So 7 of those, come in Brady Singer's just 10 starts at home. And it is shocking. Like you guys said, you look at the 3 games that we're talking about today, I don't think there's a question that this is the best pitching matchup out of any of them. And it's coming from Arizona and Kansas City. The Diamondbacks have won 6 straight Gallon starts, but in his last 3, he's 3-0, and he didn't allow a single run in 21 1/3 innings pitched. He does have a pretty elevated ERA at 7.36 in interleague play, but the team is still, Arizona's still 2-0 in those 2 starts. And one of those starts actually came against Kansas City back in May. He allowed 6 earned runs on 7 hits in 5 1/3 innings. But Arizona still won that game 8-6. And not to mention, the Diamondbacks are a perfect 6-0 in Gallon starts after he's allowed 1 or less runs in consecutive starts, which he has done. And they are 3-0 against Kansas City this year, and they've put up 7 or more runs in all 3 games. But like we said, Singer could be a ringer coming out of the backside. But, the Royals are looking to continue that 7-3 run that they have with Singer on the mound at home. But they're just 3-9 overall in the last 12, and they're 5-11 in interleague play. But both of these pitchers do favor the under too, as well as the teams recently, with Arizona going 2-8 over under in the last 10. So I do think I'm leaning Arizona, but I think the confident play here is playing that under, even at that 7.5 total with these 2 teams out there.
Sports fans, Jeff, great minds do think alike. He says he likes the under. Great stuff, Jeff. Now, guys, during Jeff's monologue, Jesse and Jeff's, analysis on this round, we've had a few people chime in, and we've got a new person, and welcome Daniel, as well as welcome Charlie, the other regulars that come in. We adore you, and thank you for your love and support. Daniel put one comment up, I need winners, Joe. Well, Daniel, I want you to know you're in the right place for winners. That's what we're here to give you. We want you to win with these free plays, but don't forget that our premium plays, our highest rate plays, are over at sportsmemo.com. You follow these cappers, you'll follow them to the bank. I want you to know something else, though, Daniel. You are not alone. I spend a lot of my time, because I live in Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas sportsbooks every single day. Outside of my living room, it's the place I'm most at home. I will tell you this. I'm in these sportsbooks every day, and I see the majority of the sports bettors drowning. When I tell you drowning, I saw them drowning in baseball. I see them drowning in preseason football right now. Even in preseason football, their heads in their hands. Nobody's happy. I want you to know something, guys. There is no need to drown. Come over to Sports Memo. You got your own personal lifeguards. We'll drag you back to shore. We'll give you mouth to mouth. We'll send you on your way with a few bucks in your pocket. I would love for you to follow Jesse, Jeff, and myself. But if not, go to Sports Memo. We have a capper tailor-made for everybody out there. I promise you that. Do not drown. You got your own personal lifeguards. Having said that, guys, the most exciting portion of the show, our best bet segment, where each of us contribute. And remember, I'm going to chime in on this one too. I am interested to see what Jesse's got to say, because he's always as entertaining as he's informative. Now, Jesse Schule, guys, he's going to tell you about what he's excited about on the premium side tonight, maybe over the weekend, and then he's got a best bet for you for today's card. Jesse, the floor is yours, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. Well, it's been a successful start to the NFL preseason for me, hitting 78% so far with my NFL exhibition plays. So certainly looking forward to the final week of the preseason. Best bets. I'm looking at Shane McClanahan of the Tampa Bay Rays, who is my favorite to win the Cy Young this season. And he's got himself a favorable matchup tonight against the LA Angels, who lead the major leagues in strikeouts per game. The Angels are striking out an average of 9.59 times per game, which is the worst in the major leagues. McClanahan has already faced the Angels this year, tossing 7 scoreless innings and striking out 11. He's got 113 Ks in 15 home starts. That's an average of 7.53 per start. And given that this is a favorable matchup against a team that strikes out a lot, and that number is down at 6.5, the juice at 140 seems like a bargain to me. I think this is a play that I'd be quite confident in rating a 4-star. Yeah, that's my best bet of the day.
Best bet of the day by a proven documented winner, Jesse Schule and McClanahan over 6.5 Ks. Guys, I know Jesse a very long time. He is a friend of mine. That is true. But we became friends because of the respect and admiration we had for each other over the years. Jesse is a perennial leaderboard fixture. All right. He is a monster. Preseason football. He's one of the best in the history of the business in NFL. I know there's a baseball show, but guys, we got these great customer appreciation discounts after the show. Go over to sportsmemo.com. Follow Jesse. He just doesn't do it once or twice. He's been doing this for decades. He's a winner. Thank you, Jesse. We appreciate that. Now, guys, Jeff Michaels, who is always reminding me that he's a lot younger than me. He is the newer kid on the block, but I got to tell you, he's no stranger. He's not new to picking winners for you. You know him as JM Sports over at SportsMemo, and I got to tell you, I find it a true honor to work with Jeff Michaels. His insight, his breakdowns are really great, and I think he does bring a breath of fresh air to some of us old-timers in the business. He has a great angle on games. He's going to tell you what he's excited about tonight, maybe over the next few days, that he's selling on the premium side on SportsMemo, and he's got a best bet for you today. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. It seems you remind yourself that you're old now more than I do at this point, but I'm glad you remembered that I'm young. So I appreciate it. But with that being said, we have been on a hot run in the MLB. I've hit 7 out of the last 8, and we're actually perfect dating back to prior to Vegas after having a perfect weekend going through. Got a big package up for you, actually, a 3-for-1 package. 2 out of the 3 plays are loaded, but the third one's going up right after this. My triple play MLB pack has my top sides, my top totals, and my top prop for the day, too, which you're actually going to get with my best bet because I really do like this prop. I'm sticking with Jesse, and I'm going K-prop for tonight. And I'm looking at a game we talked about earlier, and Jose Berrios going over that 4.5 strikeout mark at plus money. I mean, I mentioned before, Boston dealt with some injuries yesterday, and now there's a slight lack of experience in the lineup today, especially against Berrios specifically. 5 of the 9 batters projected in today's lineup have 6 or less at bats in their career against Berrios, and he stepped up in his recent starts. His last 5 home starts, he struck out 34 batters in just 29 innings, which is a 10.6 batters per 9 ratio. And he's off a pretty impressive 9 strikeout effort against the Yankees, even though that one was on the road in the last outing. But the the Red Sox have struck out more than 27 other teams in their last 10 games at home, striking out 9.5 times per game, just over once an inning. And as I mentioned, Toronto's had Boston's number this season. Red Sox have struck out over 10 times per game in their last 10 against Toronto. And they've struck out nearly 12 times per game at home against Toronto in that 4-game span that I talked about earlier. So the way that they've played together, I think Berrios goes at least 5 innings and racks up a strikeout per inning, putting him at that at least 5 marker going in tonight. So,
sports fans, Jeff Michaels, as JM Sports, doing some great work at SportsMemo. He says Berrios. He likes that. Take it away. He said Berrios over how many strikeouts? Was that 4.5 or 5?
4.5.
4.5. Thank you very much. He's doing some great work. Follow him. And I do like to remind Jeff that I'm a lot older than him because I am a lot better looking as well. So having said that, guys, I might be twice as old, but I'm twice as good looking. I'm just messing with you, Jeff. Jeff is doing some great work over at SportsMemo. Please go follow him. You will be following him too to the bank. Now, guys, I got a few things I want to tell you about that I'm excited about on the premium side. Then I've got a best bet for you as well, guys. Beep, beep, beep. No, it's not a disco song from the 80s. It is my 5% play alert. My baseball's on fire, sweeping the board the last several days, going 4-0. This is a time of year you must follow a proven and documented winning baseball capper and I am just that. I have a big game for you today on the Diamond, my MLB Grand Slam play. My Grand Slams on a documented 11-3 run. Documented over the last 5 years at 75%. This game is so strong, I'm releasing it as a 5% play. My 5 and 10% plays, 55 and 25 run. So follow the best big game hunt on the planet as we hunt, stalk, and kill the books today. It's available at SportsMemo right now. And also, guys, just to remind you, we got 3 sports. I'm doing 3 sports this week. I got MLB, I got college football, I got NFL. I'm on one of the top guys in the leaderboard in NFL preseason. Every year, you're in or you're out, MLB. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this 3-day discount for $22 will pay for itself in no time. ANNV 22 upon checkout. Follow me. And even the first lady of Las Vegas. I love her, but I'm looking to beat her because she's got me on a couple leaderboards right now. Now, as far as my free play today, my best bet goes, let's go to Citizens Bank Park, where the Reds are visiting the Phillies in Game 3 of this series, guys. I don't know if you realize this, but October, just around the corner. If the season were to end today, though, the Phillies would make the playoffs. But the way the Mets and the Braves are playing in the NL East, they must keep their foot on the gas. Right now, they have a wild card spot, but must better their situation to ensure they keep it. And what better team to face to achieve that goal than the Reds? Philadelphia is taking games 1 and 2 of this series, and overall 4 of the last 5 meetings with their NL rival this season. Some overnight schedules had Nick Lodolo on the mound today. However, it looks like TJ Zook, I love that last name. Sounds like some fungus you're getting on your feet. TJ Zook is taking the hill for Cincy. He was recalled from AAA Louisville for this start. He's made 2 appearances this season, going 0-2 with a whopping ERA, 13.50. He opposed Philly for the first time in his career back on August 16th. Guys, plowed. 6 runs he gave up on 11 hits and just over 4 innings pitched. For Philly, Christopher Sanchez takes the bump. He's 1-1 with a 3.80 on the campaign. The rookie left-hander has never faced Cincy in his career. I don't expect him to go too long in this game. However, in 23.7 innings pitched this season, he has a very respectable ERA. We just said at 3.80. The Reds are just horrible, guys, and let's face it, their season over. All right, 2-6 the last 8 on the road, 1-8 the last 9 versus the NL East. 4-10 the last 14 overall. Let's go Philly, some trends. 10-4 the last 14 at home. 8-1 the last 9 versus the NL Central. 18-8 the last 26 overall. The Phillies need this game, and the Reds do not. I like Philly to stay strong and continue their domination of this series. Take Philly on the run line, folks. I think it's a winner. Follow me. You'll be following me to the bank. And don't forget, I got a 5% play up tonight. I don't lose those plays. You follow me to the bank. Let's bring Jesse and Jeff back. We've got a couple quick announcements, and then guess what? We're out the door for Wednesday. I'm very excited because right after this show, I got a couple of grass-fed Wagyu ribeyes waiting to go on the grill 50 feet that way. I might even have an ice-cold beer with it. And then I got to look at all my football for the weekend. I did my numbers. I know Jesse and Jeff are doing the same tonight because we like to get you that football. I know it's a baseball show. We like to get to those football plays up a little bit early so we can take advantage of some lines before they start to move. So don't forget, this is a baseball show. Jesse, Jeff, and the other great cappers over at SportsMemo, they've already laid out some college football for you. I know they got some NFL preseason already up as well. So don't forget, we're on the gridiron too, not just on the diamond. Sports fans, be sure to tune in every weekday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern to this show, Full Count, SportsMemo's MLB betting coverage show. We come to you live. We give out free winners. We have special guests each and every day also. Go to SportsMemo after the show. Take advantage of those great customer appreciation discounts. Be sure to subscribe. We want to hit 10,000 subscribers. We want to do it during football. We can't do it without your help. And trust me, when you subscribe, you get a little alert when we have a new show on. The new show on Friday, the Family Affairs show, the new football show starting next Thursday, the college and pro football forecast. You're not going to want to miss anything. Tons of free plays, tons of great content, tons of great insight, and a few laughs too. We want to make sure you're having fun. But bottom line is we want to give you good, solid content and make sure you make money. Now, guys, we're done. It's it. I got to go throw my ribeye on the grill. I got to have a cold beer. It's about 100 degrees in Vegas. I'm jumping off. I'm not wearing any pants right now. Truth, I'm not. Chris, our producer, loves when I don't wear pants. That's a whole other story. We love you, Chris.
Joe, let me hit that comment that popped up right before we were, that one right there that I saw. You're right, Keegan. I checked probably 2 o'clock, maybe a little before 2. It was minus 105. Those injuries may have had driven it up because I looked too to double check. It is minus 130 on DraftKings, but I still like it.
Sports fans, Keegan, who chimes in quite a bit to the show. See, we're here to make you happy. We do prep for the show prior to the show going on. We've been on for over 35 minutes now, guys, so lines can change. We try to give you the most up-to-date information as possible. Obviously, like anything else in life, information moves very quickly. Thank you, Keegan, for pointing that out. And Jeff, thank you for clearing that up for us, because we want to make sure you're happy, guys. We want to make sure you keep coming back. So having said that, guys, it's time to take off. This is Joe D'Amico on behalf of Sports Memo, Jesse Schule, Jeff Michaels. Everyone out there, good luck.